Hello, this is Ricky Klein, known as Cassette Master on YouTube, and I'm going to tell you about my experience with something called sleep paralysis. I know a lot of people out there have had sleep paralysis, and those of you who don't, and those of you who are interested, I'm going to be watching this movie. Happens to me from time to time. Is what will happen is, well, I'll wake up and I'm unable to move, and I'm unable to talk. I can't move or talk. And I feel this pressure on my chest. It's this pressure just pushing on my chest, and I can look around on my eyes, roll my eyes, but I'm just paralyzed. And there's been, on some occasions, I was able to move my head back and forth like that, but I couldn't do anything else. And sometimes, or on most episodes or attacks of sleep paralysis I would have, I would be extremely scared, and my heart would be just beating like crazy, just pounding, just like crazy. I'd just be freaked out, frightened while it's happening sometimes, and not all the times that would be that way, though. You know, sometimes I'd just be calm, but other times I'd be freaked out. And on some of the episodes or attacks of sleep paralysis I'd have, I hear some strange noise. It'd be in my head, you know. It'd just be there. The noise would just be there in my head, you know, as if it's not like, just there. And I hear it out loud, like I'm hearing it with my ears, but it's in my head. And there's this one time on an early sleep paralysis episode, I heard this noise in my head where it's this strange buzzing noise. It's not just simply like a zzz buzzing noise. It's complicated. It's very complicated noise, very weird sounding buzzing noise. It's just weird, and it was varying in pitch, and it would slowly go up higher in pitch, and almost let's say here's the top pitch here. It'd start at low pitch, and it would be going, raising up. See, about there, it would intensify and sound even weirder. It would start out, it was weird sounding in the first place to start out, but for a certain moment there, it would intensify, and then it would go back to normal as it goes back to the top, and then it would go back. It'd be an intense moment at that certain point, and then it'd go back, you know, like, ooh, and it would do that up 3 times, and then on the 3rd time it stayed at the intense spot, and the whole time I heard the noise, I was unable to move or speak. Now, it was the first time I ever noticed that I was unable to move and paralyzed, and it was really weird. After it happened, I was like, oh, whew, man, what was that? It was weird. And there was another time it happened to me, and I woke up and I heard the sound of little children laughing every once. Like every few seconds I'd hear the sound of like maybe three children laughing, you know. They weren't evil laughs, they were just kind of joyous, happy, playful laughs, you know, of little children, you know. And it was just weird, though. And I would get just kind of a little frightened each time I hear the laughing, and it's weird, and I couldn't move and stuff. And then another time it happened to me, I woke up, and I couldn't move, of course, and this was later, a later time, like weeks later, where I heard the same voices that composed the laughing in that earlier episode, yet it was just in a steady hum tone, and I hear those like 3 voices making a tone, and just each time I heard that, it just freaked me out. I was already that time heart pounding like crazy, and I was just, each time I heard the sound, it just freaked me out even more. That was my scariest sleep paralysis episode or attack. And that was on October the 26th, 2006. And so later on, after I could move after that, I got up and I watched some of my home videos I had made, and I listened to some music from my reel-to-reel, and to calm me down and stuff. And then I got back in bed, and I was in bed for a while listening to the music some more, And then finally, I went to roll up the covers over my feet to kind of warm them, to feel comfortable in the covers. And I looked over there, and I saw this white kind of blob, just this white cloud-like stuff just go from the bed, up from the bed and disappear. And that freaked me out. That was weird. Very weird. I saw that come up I was like, oh my gosh. So, it was frightening and scary. And one time during sleep paralysis, I was floating in the air. I was scared, and I was floating in the air in my room. And then I saw one of my vintage stereo systems lift off and start floating too. And then the vintage stereo system floated upstairs, and then I followed on floating, and then it was back, and I could move again. It was weird. So, if any of you had sleep paralysis, comment on this video describing what your experience was like and stuff like that, And it's very interesting, it's a scary thing, and it happens to me quite often. Actually, the last time it happened to me was just June the 9th, was the last time I woke up and couldn't move. So, that's my stories about sleep paralysis by Ricky Klein, the Cassette Master. Check out my channel.